of the two phones?
The submission for this hearing will be on the 5 identified pair of chats or communications, and then with other evidence from the chats that will be tabled in camera if my application is approved.
So these are 5 out of a bigger batch of chats.
That's correct, Commissioners.
And these are the ones you are able to speak to in public.
That is correct, Commissioners.
And the reason you can't deal with the other ones at this point is for the reasons you gave at the outset of your testimony today, the ongoing investigations. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioners.
All right, so can we then go to paragraph 82? And just if you can set out for the Commission who are the 5 chats that you will be taking the Commission through.
The 5 chats that I'll be taking the Commission through, number 1 is communication between Mr. Vusimuzi Malala and Mr. Brown Mogotsi, who is a businessman linked to several SAPS officials, and he appears to have been involved in funding activities for the Minister of Police within the ANC. A printout of WhatsApp chats between Malala and Brown Mogotsi is attached as WB1 in the WhatsApp bundle.
The second?
The second one will be the communication between Mr. Vusimuzi Malala and Major General Sinona, who is the head of DPCI in KwaZulu-Natal. A printout of the WhatsApp chats between Mr. Malala and Major General Sinona is attached as Annex Chat WB2.
And the third? Oh, sorry, there's 2 related to...
Yeah, under the same number 2 is also a printout of WhatsApp chats between Mr. Vusimuzi Malala and a Tato Sinona, who is the son of Major General Sinona. That is attached as WB3.
And the third set of communications?
The third set is the communication between Mr. Vusimuzi Malala and the acting chief of police in Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police, Mr. Julius Mkhwanazi. A printout of the WhatsApp chats between Mr. Malala and Mr. Mkhwanazi is attached as Annexure WB4.
Just a second, General.
Sorry, General. May I just, I don't want to just repeat it. Perhaps Ms. Hassim will have to first confirm, but I want to see whether there's a need for me to repeat something that I said right at the beginning when General Mkhwanazi was testifying. At that stage, we as the commissioners knew for a fact that implicated people had not been given notice. And I announced that that did not mean that the implicated persons were going to be prejudiced in any way, because implicated person notices would be issued hour afterwards, and that they would be given copies of the transcripts, the witness statements, the exhibits, and whatever else may be relevant that the Commission is in possession of that relates to the particular implicated person. So I made that announcement right at the beginning. And it was understandable at that stage, the circumstances under which we commenced with our hearings. But right up to the last moment, the evidence leaders were in the process of going through a huge data huge bundle of information, electronic information, which they could not have been able to decipher, understand, and so on without some IT infrastructure, which you received, which the evidence leaders received quite late. Hence, no implicated person notices were issued or could be issued ahead of the hearings. Now a number of names are being mentioned here. We no longer know as commissioners whether implicated person notices have been issued beforehand or not, and if they have not been, what the plan is.
Chair, thanks for raising it. The position remains the same as when we began. The volume of evidence on our data platform is huge. And in respect of this witness as well, the statement was only finalized on Friday. And one of the difficulties in particular with this preparation for this week was not only trawling through, as you see, the reams of evidence, but establishing what could feasibly be led in public. The intention was to try to maximize transparency. And so we could only finalize what evidence would come through quite late. So witness notices have not been, third-party notices have not been issued yet, but they are in preparation and certainly will be forwarded to the implicated parties who are being mentioned right now, together with the transcript of the evidence of this witness.
Thank you very much. So there is assurance not only to South Africans as a whole, but also to the implicated persons that they will be given notices and that they will not be prejudiced.
Absolutely, and one of the important aspects of giving the notice would be to provide the detail of the evidence that's been led against them, so they can have an opportunity to prepare properly a response.
Thank you, Ms. Hassim. Thank you.
Thank you. General, I think you indicated the third set of communications with the acting chief of police in the Ekurhuleni municipality. The fourth is?
The fourth is Mr. Vusimuzi Malala and Mr. Calvin Rafadi, who is an academic commentator linked to several high-ranking SAPS officials, and the printout of those WhatsApp chats are attached as Annexure WB6.
And the fifth?
The fifth one is the communication set between Mr. Vusimuzi Malala and Mr. Suleiman Karim, who is a business person linked to several high-ranking SAPS officials. The printout of those WhatsApp chats between Mr. Malala and Mr. Karim is attached as WB7.
So you then explain that the chats, and as we go through it, we'll see it, have annexures. So there are attachments in the chat. And you've attached those as well to the chats, so the Commission can see not just the actual conversation, but whatever is attached to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioners.
And the chats, particularly those that we are going to display, contain classified information, and they contain some personal private information, and those have been redacted. But Commissioners, your version in your bundle is unredacted. And then in 85, you explain some of the issues using the software of the Commission to try to present you evidence. Can you just touch on that, please?
Thank you, Commissioners. The Commission has used a software that has two shortcomings when it comes to this evidence that will be presented in the form of WhatsApp chats. The first one will be at the start and the end of any chat stream that it downloads, the system that is used by the Commission, it misreads the system message, signaling the beginning and the end of the chat stream, and it displays it as a message from an unknown caller. That is what the Commission's system is doing. So at the start and the end of each of the annexures, there appears to be a message from an unknown caller, which is in fact a misread of the system message and does not represent an actual message from an unknown caller. Then the second weakness is the displaying of the displayed messages do not, in the display, indicate whether they are messages originally sent by the sender or messages forwarded by the sender. In order to address this second weakness, I have had a spreadsheet created that extracts the metadata of the messages in the WhatsApp chat files so as to indicate which of the messages were forwarded and which of the messages were sent. There are no forwarded messages in the chats between Mr. Malala and Mr. Julius Mkhwanazi and also Tato Sinona. As I continue.
Thank you. And those spreadsheets are attached as SDK 11, SDK 12, SDK 13, and SDK 14. Is that correct?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Can I just ask a question for clarification? So there's a consent to search an electronic equipment. You get hold of Mr. Malala's 2 cellular phones. And then in your statement in paragraph 82, you say from the WhatsApp chats, you were able to establish that there are these communications between Mr. Malala and other people. How were you able to identify the other people that Mr. Malala was communicating with? So if you just take, for example, paragraph 82.1 of your statement on page 33. So we know that you have Mr. Malala's device, so you know that it is him communicating with somebody else. But how were you able to identify that he was communicating with the people you have mentioned in your statement?
Thank you, Commissioners. The detailed profiles, as well as then the official communication of the numbers that will be linked with those specific individuals was done.
So you were able to link the numbers of these other individuals with their names?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Mayor, General, just so that I understand what we are looking at, that explanation at 85.1, where you're talking about the shortcomings of the system, where you say at the start and end of each of the annexures, there appears to be a message from a known caller, which is in fact a misread system message and does not represent an actual message from an unknown caller. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Are you saying the caller is known? Are you saying there is a message? I'm not sure what it means when I look at what is on the screen now.
Thank you, Commissioners. We are saying the system used by the Commission at the start and the end of each annexure, there appears to be a message that it's from an unknown caller, which is in fact a misreading of the system and the system message. And that does not represent an actual message from an unknown caller. It's a system misreading.
So there's no message?
If I could help,
Please.
because it was the commission, that software that was used to assist the witness. And what happened is when the chats get downloaded, and you'll see it when we go to the chats, Commissioner Baloy, at the start, where the downloading begins, it registers a message, and it doesn't know the system how to deal with it. So it just says unknown caller or unknown sender, but it's really just I want to say like an artifact or something of the system of extraction of the chats that gets reflected. It's not actually any message that's coming from anyone at all. And at the end of the chat, there's the same thing at the end of it, at the bottom. So for each one, you'll see that. It's just a system error message in a way.
Does that mean on the chats themselves, you do see who the chat was from and to whom it was? When it comes to the chats themselves?
The chats themselves are reflected quite clearly who, on both sides, yes.
All right, okay, thank you.
And then perhaps I should also assist the witness to explain the point about the time, because in the spreadsheets that we've provided, it's 2 hours. It's using GMT as opposed to South African time. So we'll add 2 hours to the times in the spreadsheet. Okay. General Khumalo, you wished to first give the Commission a sense and an overview of the kind of picture that emerges from the chats before we dive into the chats. So can you start at paragraph 86, please?
Thank you, Commissioners. A preview of the picture that will be confirmed by the WhatsApp chats, starting with 8.6.1. Mr. Malala or one of his employees makes payments to Mr. Mogotsi directly, sometimes for expenses related to the African National Congress events, and in particular for the benefit of delegates of such event who are apparently linked to the Minister Nkunu through the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde, in the office of the Minister. Then number 2, in return, Mr. Mogotsi uses his influence within the SAPS and the ministry to manipulate SAPS processes so as to frustrate criminal investigations into Mr. Vusimuzi Malala. Also leaks highly confidential or classified information of the SAPS to Mr. Malala. Also coordinates the payments from the SAPS to the Medicare 24 Tshwane District, a company owned by Mr. Malala, which unlawfully procured a contract from SAPS worth 360 million. And number 4.
Rand. You left out rand.
360 million rands. Apologies,
Thank you.
Commissioner. And the fourth one, the fourth picture, is an unsuccessful attempt to prevent the SAPS from cancelling its contract with Medicare 24 Tshwane District. In pursuit of these goals, Mr. Mogotsi, in a mistaken belief that an investigation into Mr. Malala was being conducted by the Political Killings Task Team, as pointed out above. It was actually that investigation conducted by the Gauteng counterintelligence operations. Mr. Mogotsi has pursued the disestablishment of the Political Killings Task Team, a mistaken identity. And then, secondly, he has specifically sought to find a means of having me subjected to a criminal and/or disciplinary proceedings, including a somewhat comical attempt to rely on a December 2024 Constitutional Court judgment in State versus Makala, CCT number 237/2002, to have me disciplined for the conduct of a different Brigadier Khumalo, who was involved in that case, a Brigadier Mbuso Khumalo, who was then referred to on the records of proceedings on this case, and who Mr. Mogotsi apparently thought it was me or myself, the second mistaken identity. 8.6.4, Mr. Mogotsi purports to have been operating in this regard with the support of the Minister of Police, as well as the Chief of Staff in the Minister of Police, Mr. Nkabinde, and Lieutenant General Sbiya, the Deputy National Commissioner in the SAPS. Apparently, in parallel, Major General Sinona pursues similar objectives with Mr. Mogotsi and leaks confidential SAPS documents to Mr. Malala. Major General Sinona's association with Mr. Malala appears to be linked to a commercial venture between Mr. Malala and Mr. Tato Sinona, his son.
General?
You've referred to the singular when speaking now, but in the written version, you refer to the plural, commercial ventures, plural. Is it a venture or ventures?
Apologies, commissioners. It's a commercial ventures.
General, in paragraph 86.5, where you speak about Major General Sinona pursuing similar objectives with Mr. Mogotsi, is that with intended? Is it with him or is it similar to Mr.
I think
Mogotsi?
as is probably the better word than with.
Not, General, you confirm that you're not saying
Yes.
that Major General Sinona and Mr. Mogotsi are working together?
It's a typing error, commissioners. It's Major General Sinona similar objectives as Mr. Mogotsi, not with.
And just to be clear, are those objectives the ones set out in 86.4? Because remember, at the start of 86, you set out various objectives that Mr. Mogotsi pursues. So it's just not clear from 86.5 whether you're referring to all the objectives starting from 86.2 or whether you are limiting yourself to only 86.4.
No, I'm only referring to 86.4, commissioners.
Okay. So just so that you understand me, when you say Major General Sinona pursues similar objectives as Mr. Mogotsi, you're referring only to the objectives set out in 86.4.
That is correct, Commissioner.
All right.
About that, General, let's just be sure. 86.4 says Mr. Mogotsi purports to operate with the support of the Minister, the Chief of Staff, and General Sibia. Are you in 86.5 saying Major General Sinona acts with support of the Minister? I think that's the specific question you're being asked. Are you saying Major General Sinona acts with the support of the Minister, the Chief of Staff, and General Sibia? Is that the intention?
So to clarify, General, because my understanding is, and you'll correct us, is that when you refer to similar objectives, you're referring to similar objectives in general and not specific specific manipulation and specific influence within the ministry, for example.
Yes.
That's what I understood, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct, Commissioners. The modus operandi from the beginning will look more or less the same, but as you get into the implementation, and then it might talk to a specific objective. But overall, the objectives are grouped as the same.
I think what, Ms. Asima, I thought you had clarified in the way that I understood it, which is you are not saying about Major General Sinona that he acts in support of Minister Mkhunu. You're not saying in support of the Chief of Staff or with their knowledge, and you're not saying with the knowledge of General Sibia. I've understood it to be that's not what you're saying. You're just speaking to the broad objectives of
That is
undermining
correct,
your work.
Commissioners.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. I'm trying to remember where we were. Were we at 86.6 then? Yes,
You had 0.6.
86.6.
86.6, Mr. Karim and Mr. Rafadi appear to be paid by Mr. Malala for their access to senior SAPS members and their ability to advance same goals as those pursued by Mr. Mogotsi, and also to leak sensitive SAPS documents to Mr. Malala.
And 86.7?
86.7, alongside Mr. Malala's unlawful influence over affairs of SAPS, he has a relationship with Mr. Mkhwanazi, which involves the abuse of EMPD for the benefit of Mr. Malala.
And then you end your high-level picture so that you are able to take the commission to the chats themselves. Do you want to just explain that?
Thank you, Commissioners. There are, of course, then vast numbers of messages in the chats that are relevant to the location of the message in the chats, affecting the significance. In the circumstances, I've been advised that it will be more helpful to simply take the commission through the chats, message by message, in oral evidence, rather than to try or attempt to extract a more detailed summary of the chat into this statement. What the charts demonstrate, at the very least, is that organized crime has managed to infiltrate the SAPS and the EMPD at the very highest level.
And would it be correct for me to understand then that this overview that you've provided and this sort of strands of the picture, there are other strands that will become clearer as we go through the chats.
That is correct, Commissioners.
Thank you, General. Chair, I'm in your hands. It's 3 minutes to 4, and I'm sure I'm happy to go straight to chat number one.
During the lunch break, one of your juniors, Ms. Power, said to us, when you get to that point, you would ask for an adjournment for her to change laptops. I don't know whether that has since been sorted out, because if we would have to adjourn for that, then we would have to adjourn for the day and resume at 9:30 tomorrow.